Rely not upon fortune.
More fuel for my fire.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Is that your best?
Go, little ladies.
You will fall.
With my regeneration. Gotcha!
Your form returns from whence it came.
Radiant are scanning.
Forebodings now make sense.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Double damage.
To nature's foulest cloister, I return. Chaos!
Killing spree! Double kill!
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Go for it. No.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant are scanning.
Oh, that's nice.
Dire are scanning.
The impurified.
Is that right?
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen. Radiant's top Roshan and Warrior to Radiant.
Why do I feel like I linger? Linger between the words to say the words to remember. Now we're here to take control over your body and over your soul. We're gonna take back everything and lose it all. Lose it all. Lose it all. Feel it in your arms. Feel it in your legs. Feel it on your fingertips and feel it in your head. Just let your body go. Just let your body go. Just let your body go and move to the rhythm.
Dire team pick. Radiant team pick. Radiant.
Chen.
Now we won't go back home.
Dire team pick.
Grimstroke.
Last hour. We still got a few more days.
Absolutely perfect.
Oh, this guy has no chill, man.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
It's just that the rest of his game is a little bit weaker. And with that being said, I think one of the best parts of this hero and what's going to happen in this game, because there's a lifestealer on the enemy team, is he's going to flex to be a 5. But that does make it so that your Grimstroke is very likely I mean, obviously, it's going to be a 4.
Wraith King.
Now that makes me think that it might be a Wraith King Grimstroke lane, just because that's such a...
Quite possible. I think the thing I like that Singularity done here with that pick is that they're not making it very clear what the Battle Rider still is, because I feel like if you do, then 682 just pick a Nyx right now, right? Because you've got an Infest Bomb, and also it counters the Battle Rider and works pretty well with these other two.
Yeah, you definitely might want to put the Battle. That's the great thing about picking these heroes that can adequately play in 2 or more roles, is just that you can, if they do pick an entire like counter matchup, the whole team just countering you, you can just flex the hero to be less of a farm priority, and then it doesn't matter.
Radiant team.
Which is nice, which means probably 682 won't pick like hard counters, because if you do, you just ruin your whole draft. So you may as well just kind of pick your own strat.
Okay, they go for the Rubik. It's an interesting choice right now. Maybe feeling they have the flex to potentially put it mid, depending on how this draft goes. So I'm just kind of like looking at this. I'm going, okay, you've got aggression from Chen. Does your draft really need a Rubik when you have a lifestealer? Because like, I usually think of Rubik, I don't know about you, but as like a defensive support. I think that's the only way to really think about him in the early game. And lifestealer doesn't usually need extra help staying alive.
I honestly like it here just because the Wraith King stun, you can steal every time. For whatever reason, you can't steal Skeletons, and you can't steal the Aura, I'm pretty sure. Like, the stun is... People don't really toggle the Aura. Maybe you can. But anyway, you can steal the stun like 100% of the time, and you can also steal the Shadow Shaman spells now, which is great. This hero, as a disabler, as a 4, he scales really nicely. I love to have a Rubik on my team with some hero that's really effective at laning without like a super strong lane support, like a hero that's just a free lane, like some Sand King hero or Axe who cuts creep waves, or Centaur who cuts creep waves, but
10 seconds
banned.
remaining.
And it works quite well with the Chen being there because you know Chen will deliver a lot of early aggression. So as long as you're not going for these stupid double defensive support types, right, you're not risking your laning phase, which is really important when you have a lifestealer because it's the type of hero that's not going to deliver himself.
Yeah, although I have been seeing people more like lately these days, or they're going for the armlet Deso build on lifestealer. Sometimes even having like a Slardar in the game, although it's not really a great Slardar game. Like Wraith King is relatively good against it because it's a kill hero against him in lane. You don't just trade. Any kill heroes are good against Slardar because Slardar wins any trades, and Batrider is amazing. Possibly like aggro and then have the Batrider just destroy the Slardar.
That's true. Although, in fairness, you know, you fare up better against Slardar than you used to because it's now on your max HP, whereas it used to be current, right? So it used to be Slardar got down to half HP and won the Bash Wars. I think my big concern for 682 right now is they have no delivery mechanic for the lifestealer.
True.
So this is, I feel like if they continue this way, this is probably 95% a Radiance game just because of that, right? Otherwise, you just get kited.
Yeah, definitely. Especially with the BKB piercing disable, the Batrider ulti, Grimstroke ulti. Even the Serpent Wards are kind of hard, like annoying play around. It's a lot of stuns on the side of Singular. I really do like, I think Mars is pretty good here. It's just a general good hero with Rubik. You can set up for the spear. The only thing is it's a pretty difficult lane to pressure, like Wraith King Grim or Wraith King Shadow Shaman. And they could also tri-lane you and just have the Batrider cut wave spot. That's definitely a concern. That's kind of the rough thing here for 682 in this pick.
Tide Hunter.
Go for a Tide, okay.
Big tanky boy. Okay, that's one delivery eventually with Tide. I kind of look at this.
Pretty good against Bat.
That is true. I just kind of look at 682, so I'm sitting, you know, with the lifesteal you can make early mid-game plays, but you're against a Batrider, a Shaman, and a Grimstroke, so you can't necessarily go for these super squishy mids, right?
If Ember was a hero, need some hero that can scale in terms of damage, but also contribute in the early game. Like I do think like what you said is good. The Queen of Pain is pretty good. Puck is decent. Death Prophet is still good. SF they banned out. So who picks first? Okay, so 682 pick first.
10 seconds.
So let's think of the cancer picks. You have a Tidehunter, you don't have to worry about Brood. Huskar. You could potentially get Huskard right now if you're 682. Like Singularity could pick Huskar if you're not careful. They ban the AA.
You go for like a Lina maybe? I'm just thinking because you got like the Chen ganking constantly, right? And with the new kind of Aether Lens build
too, and Lifestealer set up too. Yeah, Lina's definitely good here.
It's kind of like the solid. I'm worried what you're gonna pick. You can't easily counterpick this choice if they ban the TA. That is.
Lina's a hero that does really well against Huskar. Okay, and they ban the Timber. Like they're thinking about the cancer picks too.
Okay, that gives them a lot of sustain.
I feel like Kunkka's also one of those heroes that just generally does pretty well no matter what, especially with the OD band and Timber. You just push out the lane no matter what. You've got good initiation. The hero scales pretty well. It gives you a bit of a tanky frontliner, although you don't really lack that. You have the Tidehunter Lifestealer, but having that X is really nice to bridge that gap for a lot of offlaners who want to eventually build a Blink, but you don't want to build it first. Like Tide wants a Vlad's. He wants like phase boots Vlad's before he goes for a Blink. So it's nice to have something that can start fights without having to worry about like rushing a Blink Dagger, because that feels really bad if you're a Tide. It just ruins your early. You can't just stand in front and be a tank if you're just a Blink Dagger.
True, and they've made their draft the unkillable type, right? Like it's very hard to kill any one of these three quickly. Whereas once you look at Singularity, usually we see this Wraith King. Captains like to draft it when they're concerned their carry is going to die. Like there's going to be pickoff. We know it's going to happen. This is a safe choice. You have that second life to work with.
Yeah. It's a pretty good Wraith King game. I like Death Prophet here. Oh, they picked Wraith.
I feel like I think I would have preferred Death Prophet as well, because the only thing I was then thinking is with this lineup, 682, if Lifestealer goes Radiant, you definitely see Kunkka just rush a Halberd. And then are you relying too heavily on the physical damage of Razor in the mid game?
Yeah, I guess so, but it's a really good early game for Razor, so getting to the mid game and having items is not going to be hard for him. Like he's good against any lane here. Like he can lane in any lane and be fine. They have such a bit, like in fact you could even, if you wanted to go real cheese, you could lane like the Batrider versus the Kunkka or the Tidehunter and just have the Razor like follow the Lifestealer or the Tide, or I mean, you've such. I
mean, any lane for him is good, right?
Yeah, any lane is good. So you can just pick what's good for the other heroes.
Gives them flex as well, because then you're in a scenario where does my Wraith King go minus Radiance, or do I go for like the max out on my passive first build because I'm going to be farming the jungle quickly? Yeah, there's definitely flexibility, I think, but especially between the Wraith King and the Razor as to who does what in this game, right?
I like the Singularity draft a lot. I feel like they have heroes that do a lot of jobs in the game. They have like pushing from Shadow Shaman, Wraith King. Razor has a free early game. Batrider's kind of... It's a rough game for Batrider. I don't think that... But then again, that hero recovers pretty well no matter what. Tidehunter is a hero that if you fall off on Tidehunter, you can feel kind of useless. Like you're just a Ravage in auras. Like you can't do the frontlining thing. Whereas Bat has the... like you can get travels and just push out the side lanes. It's very, very annoying. Bat's very good at recovering. Same with Sand King. Like, any of these side lane pushing heroes are just so good at recovering because they just get free farm like across the map, like we saw with the Puckle.
Yeah, and the thing I was going to highlight as well is the difference to what we usually see with the successful Tide drafts is they have a second big bang ultimate, right? Like maybe an Enigma plus Tidehunter, where even if I expend one of these, you don't feel like you can hard commit afterwards because you've got a backup plan, right?
Yeah.
Whereas in this game, Kunkabo is good, but it's not on the same scale, the same level as a Ravage or a Black Hole or an Echo Slam.
Yeah, they basically can fight almost exclusively around the Ravage until they have a Radiance. Then once they have the Radiance, they can kind of take more like long-term engagements. And look how they're occupying these lanes. They have Tide and Lifestealer heading bot because the Chen is just going to recall top. Like this is a very typical thing where you just send both of the cores to the same side lane and then just have Chen go to the other one, and you're guaranteed to get the right lanes. So if they send Bat bot on the Radiant, you just recall Tidehunter top. If you send Bat top, you recall the Lifestealer top.
It's been one of the big reasons a lot of people have been feeling this hero is kind of a little bit broken. Is, you know, when you think how important the early lanes can be, especially when you go for these direct counter picks like the Batrider, it can completely ruin your lane dynamic.
You just can't, you can't like out lane swap a Chen. You just can't. You have to get a kill. You have to kill somebody and force a TP. That's it. Even then, like if you kill a hero, you still have Chen to...
Yeah, you have to kill like Chen, but even then, like Chen's happy to spend 20-30 seconds walking out to a lane, still being level 1, because guess what? I'm going to get something great for my core as a result. It's a conundrum. It's a very bad conundrum.
Chen is kind of like a Wisp, where you can also just have somebody split pushing somewhere and recall them in. It's very similar to playing like a Wisp lineup, which is great for a Lifestealer because he just wants to chill somewhere and farm, like in the enemy team's face. You know, he wants to sit in like the safe lane where the enemy team can't push into him just because, not because he does anything, but just because he's sitting there and his magic immunity.
I think that's why I like the Kunkka more than like the Queen of Pain. It seemed like a good idea at first, but I think the difference with Quap, right, is she's already really mobile. So you're kind of getting this unnecessary benefit because she'll be there, right? Whereas Kunkka is this type of hero that can already flex his mobility with X TPs, and then you can actually drag him somewhere else afterwards.
Actually, that's a pretty nice call.
Just like, this recall's a bad idea, I can't cancel it. That's okay, buddy. I'll bring myself back. You can stay there and die.
It feels so good in games to have the ability to just stop split pushing because one of your heroes or two of them have some like ability to just get back into the fight, like Ember with Remnants or Kunkka with X or Chen with Divine Favor, Wisp with like, Relocate, Bat with Travels. Like these heroes, there's one of them in every game on like either team.
And it's an interesting kind of dynamic they create, right? Especially I think Kunkka and Ember as these type of mid heroes. Like when you think about the outer lane's in trouble, they dive in tower, can I TP rotate? Because of the nature these heroes play, it's almost kind of greedy, right? Like I want to just X back to base so I can refill my bottle, I can heal up. And the moment you do that, the correct way your opponent should play is, I just saw him do that, I'm going to go fight in another lane because I know they will never be able to get him there in time.
True. Usually you play like adjacent to the lane that they're doing, but yeah, you can definitely punish. Like I've seen that get punished. It's definitely been punished before. It's just you have to like have vision, and then also they have to not be playing in like adjacent lanes. Then they could just head over.
Antoha? Okay, he'll be fine. They level Fate. Yeah. Luckily, Chen was still faster than the Batrider originally, so he couldn't get on top for the Ink Swell. But if he had, that would have most definitely been a kill. And the perfect kill. After we were just talking about the lane dynamic that Chen forces at the beginning.
Although Chen could just TP back top. And... It's such a hard problem to solve. Like, I don't know. Chen is just good. He's just strong, man.
Chen is just Chen, my dude. He just does things, you know?
Chen things.
Razor was doing Razor things as he was just like static linking up. Just trying to screw Kunkka over a bit. It did work. Of course, you have to hang around longer against these melee heroes because with the Quelling Blade and the Tidebringer, you can arguably still get a CS a lot of the time.
Yep.
Not that one.
This lane. Definitely becomes more and more Razor favorite. Levels.
Miposhka has to be very careful here. He's getting aggressive because he has the salve now. It's just, I'm thinking these two supports, like, I always feel like the issue when we see shamans is if you're on equal numbers, it doesn't feel good because they can just turn around and fight you, right? And if you're shackling, you've locked one target down, but you're stunning yourself essentially.
Yeah, that's true. Here's pretty easy too. Very.
Yeah.
Interesting that Toby picked up Kraken Shell as well as a Stout Shield.
That surprised me because usually, like, you either, if you're doing the Stout Shield, you go for the Anchor Smash and a Pointing Gush, right? And then 2 points in Kraken Shell to outdo it.
Yeah, usually.
I guess his logic is, you know, I might get stunned here. I want to actually debuff that because they'll only have 2 stuns for quite a while.
They also weren't entirely sure what the lane setup was going to be until the reveal with like the Barret or top. So maybe he thought that
Step lively now.
level Gush first for like a first blood, something like that, because they sent 2 heroes bot. So he went Stout, something like that.
Yeah, we have seen Tides prioritize Gush a lot more in the laning phase because it does actually let you do something, right? Because the big issue with this hero a lot of time is he can't kill anyone until coming off cooldown soon, but I don't know if he's gonna live long enough. One more hit will do it, and the first blood's drawn. They might find more as well. Let's try and slow him down. Miposhka doesn't have a stun for 8 seconds though, so instead they'll just harass Spirit away. A lot of damage done.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. I think Miposhka was actually saving the shackles because he thought that Rubik was gonna lift him as soon as he used the shackles, but Spirit didn't have any mana, so no cancel for the shackles. Usually it's pretty easy to play against a Shadow Shaman as a Rubik. Wait for him to shackles and you save your guy.
Uh-oh. Dashlow made a mistake. Get Firefly now. Chen is recalling in though. He might die to this. He's going towards the Kunkka, which is an interesting proposition. The Torrent, guess it's wrong. Dashlow's actually going to get away with this. Yep, no way to kill him. Instead, he actually might lose the Alpha Wolf, but the X is there now. Okay. Just actually have the range. Draw back. Says, thank you very much. I needed something in the mid lane. Look at Ping just standing there like, I don't know what that was.
All right, I think if I'm Barret, I'm actually cool with that, though. Like, look at his CS. 13 CS, like, you trade your life for it, but sometimes you need to trade your life in order to get something in a game. Like, you're against Shen Lifestealer, man. That's a hard lane for Bat. He's just got to keep cutting. He doesn't really have a choice. If he has to die, he has to die. He's got 2 healing salves. This guy's committed. I think he's going to double stack this one, bring this wave to the next one.
And just do it again, baby.
Yeah, sure. I mean, trade your life for a game.
Grimsburg does go down. They actually dove for him. Nice punishment coming out. There's enough heroes here for it. This is always the awkward issue. Like, if you were 3 heroes here against 2, you feel great as Miposhka, but because you're 3 versus 3, it's kind of a shrug, and what do I do? I mean, it's more than 3 versus 3, really, because it's the Chen. Yeah, kill the Stormcrafter. Get rid of it. One of the most annoying things. What's he doing with the gold? Oh, no. No Stormcrafter, no. Well, okay. Oh, it says screw it.
Damage it does? Like, for 70 mana on Holy Persuasion?
Watch the damage they do to Miposhka. Oh, stroke. Beautifully done by Luft. And now 10 around the Inkswell, chasing right in. Looking on Toha, going to stun him up. Toby needs to be careful. Anchor Smash comes out. The Ray Fire Blast and the Skelly Bros are there. They bolt through to reduce the damage further. The Shackles had to be cancelled to back away. Toby won't die this time. That's a lot of damage reduction, actually, between the Rubik and the Tide. Oh, Miposhka.
What a like a ludicrous combo to have in a lane.
It's so obnoxious. It's like, okay, my Skelly Bros would usually be killing you, but now they're hitting for basically nothing.
I played this matchup the other day. Tide versus, Wraith King versus Tide. It's really annoying. The Anchor Smash just one-hits the skeletons at any point in the game. And then they respawn, and you just Anchor Smash again because it's Anchor Smash. It's got such a low cooldown. And then you don't do any damage to Tide because he has Kraken Shell. A lot of heroes can't trade with the skeletons because they do so much damage. Tide can't.
Oh, you need to run faster than this. The shackles are going to be there. Reinforcements are coming, but the Stroke of Fate through does connect. Spirit needs to go for the lift just in time with the south being activated. Channel escape. The supports have created their own lane now here in the river. They even have creeps. So in the end, this aggression back and forth, who's the biggest winner, right? Because like Kunkka is sitting top of CS, which yeah, that's pretty impressive considering against a Razor with 2 points in the static link.
I think he's just walking up, taunting the range creep,
and then walking away to the jungle,
and then Tidebringering, and then walking away to the.
It gets easier from here as well. Once you get like level 3 Tidebringer, your lane starts to just become Kunkka favored.
Yeah, because you just cleave the creeps. This is why this hero's a really good second to last pick, because generally, no matter what you're against, you'll do fine. I've even seen Kunkkas do well against OD. I've seen Kunkkas do well against Timbersaw. Like there's just you cut the creep wave against Timber. Like there's just ways that you.
Okay, let's assume they have 10th pick. They're probably going to counter me in some way. I want to pick a hero that can fall back to the jungle and just get mad gold in him as quickly as possible. And Kunkka is definitely one of those.
Yeah, the other response is picking a hero that can, look, uses torrents onto the range creep, and he just gets ready to cleave everything down. There it is. Of course,
Razor wants to clear the wave as quickly as possible as well with his maxed out passive build, so he just always pushes into the Kunkka. The gold is coming to him.
Yep.
Oh.
Both mid laners just farming.
They're getting aggressive bot again.
2019.
Toby? Oh, no. This was a mistake. Everyone else will just leave. They're like, nope, we don't know you anymore, Toby. He'll blame that one on lag too. Now, this is not it's not connecting from Australia, guys. This isn't that Toby. This is is he an I think he's an Austrian player.
Let me look. I got him. He's Austrian. You're correct.
Look at that, dude.
There you go.
Which is very confusing for most viewers because, like, can you imagine the kind of free-led shortening of that? It'd be AUS as well. So everyone would think that Toby's become a pro Dota player.
And
W1sh is from Georgia.
Oh, okay. I think Luft is German as well.
Georgia's a country.
Did you not know this?
That's a state as well in America, I think.
I mean, Georgia is a country unless you're Russia, in which case you don't acknowledge it. And they don't acknowledge Toby's existence anymore. He's gone. They're going to chase it. One more hit will come out. Now, W1sh, can he get the big combo? Nice cleave. Extra run back. Torrent on Excalibur. Easy kill for them. They forced to reincarnate as well. He didn't realize it was level 2. He did throw out the boat. Excalibur stays alive, but he's got to be feeling lucky he didn't die for that. He could have easily went down the second time if they just thrown out the boat.
I love the rotation from Ping, just because making this Tidehunter walk back to lane completely ruins his game. And sure, you have to give away your mid lane and have it be free farm for a little while. Kunkka makes a good counter rotation. But ruining one hero's game like this, especially a hero like Tide that doesn't really come back all that well, it's a good trade-off to make.
Yeah, didn't even lose Posture on the exit. And, I mean, Kunkka, he is building up a lot of gold alongside the lifesteal. There is a concern for them that the Tidehunter, as you said, will be kind of irrelevant. But when you get a lifestealer and a Kunkka off to a start like this,
Radiant's bottom tower
that's going to get spooky, right?
Definitely. You have the timing of the Radiance, Kunkka with the armlet timing that you can pressure.
I just love these two heroes together. It's like one hero is definitely gonna build Radiance, the other one's definitely gonna build an armlet. It's just, you don't know which way around until you get to the stage.
It's true. I think if they had like a good hero to put Nakes inside of, they would go Nakes.
That's true.
Probably. Well,
but we said very early on, like, this draft the Singularity have are going to kite him, so he needs that Radiance to be relevant.
True, yeah. Against a Razor, it feels really bad to go for the... Well, actually, on the other side, if you have, like, a Slardar against Razor, then you don't care about him because you just burst him so quickly.
Yeah.
It's a weird matchup.
It is definitely double value, though, because I'm looking at Singularity's draft, and I'm like, no one on their team really wants to build MKB, so it's likely that you won't even see the Heaven's Halberd picked up on Kunkka, or maybe he gets one, but you'll definitely see one on Lifestealer.
Yeah, honestly, 2 Heaven's Halberds this game is good. It's like all physical damage other than Batrider, but when you're a Lifestealer...
When you're a Batrider, you're relying on physical. Oh, Lifestealer. Next up. Oh, we're going to find out if they got enough physical for him. They commit the last 2 just to ensure the kill. They will be able to get him. The TP will be cancelled just in time for the runes.
Dire's top tower.
A nice bounty rune rotation. That's a good play. That's definitely something you want to look to do at, like... I mean, if you can kill a Lifestealer who's holding the safe lane like this, you just get the tower for free. Like, one of the big reasons people pick this hero is because he can sit and hold the safe lane tower for so long and just be, like, borderline unkillable. So that kills him. Very important. That's on a siege wave, too. The siege is coming. So that's a tower.
Although there's pressure on the mid. I think they have to let this tier 1 go, though. They realize there's a Chen, and also W1sh just hit level 10, which means he has that plus 40 damage talent on the Kunkka. If you chop and defend this, you probably die.
He's got a bottle, too, with an Invis rune, so...
X. Boat coming through. Say hello, Luft. Bolt gets him pretty low. Lift to drag him back, and Toby trying to move across the anchor smash, but it's the Tidebringer that gets it in the end. They get the tower alongside it. All in all, good rotation from both teams. Good read of the game and the state they're in.
Toby just shows up. It's like, hey guys, I have Ravage.
Yay, XP!
I'm contributing.
It's an intimidation move. He looks scary.
He's got the full Vlads coming out, so he's not even going to go for the phase boots because it's past the point where he's going to be like a tanky frontliner who pressures. He needs to get some... He needs to contribute just a little bit and get some freebies and fights, and then maybe he can scale to be that menace of a frontlining, you know, watermelon boy. But at this point, just contributing the aura is pretty effective considering how hard his lane was.
I think it's also, you're in this scenario where going for phase boost after the tier 1 fall so quickly feels bad. Ravage coming out though. W1sh doesn't have the boat for 2 more seconds. They need to buy a little bit of time. They are jumping on top of Toby. He could look to just re-engage. The problem is there's too many heroes here. Toby will go down and so will Antoha. At least Kunkka gets out with his Invis rune. They had to work a little bit for the kill, but you know, Melon's tough. If you just try and bite into a melon from the outside, it's not easy.
It is rough, but this melon is rotten and soft.
This melon has been microwaved, baby. That's what's happened.
That's disgusting. That's...
Uh-oh. There's a little bit of flying going on here. The flyby is successful. The spirit does die. Microwave watermelon.
Jesus.
Boat coming through.
Shriveled up and nasty. This is the thing with Batrider is that no matter what, this hero has a game with this bots build. The way that you play it, it's not like the old Blink Dagger Batrider. You're a side laner. You just occupy side lanes and kill people who show up.
Mid tower? Getting pretty low here. They don't even deny it. Nope. Toby looked a little bit too late. I think he's been microwaved. Did you see how slowly he turned to the tower? Maybe he is playing from Australia.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
This is actually Toby.
Maybe.
There's only one problem with that, folks. Toby now lives in the UK, so... Which, you know, I mean, our UK brains have been known to be a bit slow now.
Could you imagine if Toby just had an alter ego? He just was like a pro player, but he didn't want to ruin his like casting career, so he...
I had a different idea of alter ego. When you said alter ego, I imagined what I got drunk and done once, which was like, just done different voices and cast with myself.
Maybe
yep,
he's doing,
the silence there.
Maybe he's doing that as well. I'm just thinking, like... It's possible.
It's like Kyle makes enough mistakes that it could just be Toby doing a Kyle voice. Yeah.
That's true. Jesus Christ, what are we uncovering here?
It's a whole conspiracy theory. This is good.
It's not a theory if it's fact.
Oh, conspiracy facts, all right? This will force them to not hire them because one is crazy and the other one's always wrong. And, well, the other one isn't doing his job because someone else is role-playing him. And then, Jenkins, you and me, we get on land. This is genius.
Sure.
Insidious plans that might work out.
Take it.
Oh. Well, this is insidious plans of a different kind. So, you know what the rule is if you can't kill something with fire, Jenkins?
Kill it with water.
No, you burn it harder. Look at the builds for the lifesteal and the Kunkka. That's not something you see every day.
I think that's gonna change up. There's gonna be some communication that yeah,
there we go. Just been arguing for like the last minute. No, I want Radiance. No, I want Radiance. It's like, dude, come on.
All right,
I'm a
next to
lifestealer.
die. Next to die gets Radiance. All right.
Lifestealer's very close to being able to get Radiance there.
He was very close.
Smoke looked the wrong way. They thought he was up here. They're right. He was up there, but not exactly where they were looking. So instead, they commit to the woods and let to secure this tier 2.
The only thing with this bat build is that up until the Blink Dagger, smoking does feel really bad. It's very difficult to get on top of heroes. You just kind of have to run at them fast, and a lot of heroes can you know, react to that. Like the Bat Rider Lasso is less than melee range, so you kind of need another hero to initiate. The Shadow Shaman does not have an Ether Lens. This hero is, even if they catch the Lifestealer there, I don't think he died.
Shaman might be dead. Which guess is wrong with the torrent. But he knows he's here somewhere. They'll look at the wrong way though. Miposhka's gonna escape this. The pings came out too late. So Smoke failed to connect, and look at this. Another hero that doesn't really like smoking without a Blink Dagger is this Tidehunter.
Yep. I've been in both of these shoes recently. Tide without Blink, Bat without Blink. But you need your other items, so you just can't contribute in the way that you want these heroes to contribute in the game. Like, you need these items. I think Blink comes next for Tide, and Blink comes next for Bat. Although Bat is actually going for BKB, surprisingly.
I mean, at least he's got haste, so now he can make this happen. This is another smoke immediately after the last one. Well, not immediately, but basically.
The Lifestealer too.
Concept.
If they need vision of him.
Oh no, he's at the wrong camp. They can see the creep dying, I think. They just about know, but they don't know who else is there. The tier 1 top will fall. No. You're like trying to move in. But look at this move. Zip Zap reads it perfectly. They'll ping now, but this is much harder because now you're between the shrine and the tier 2. So TPs can come in to protect him.
And
he
Shadow
doesn't.
Shaman does not have any cast range like this.
There's the rage.
There it is.
Whoops. All right, boys. Failed mission. Back away. Go to the bot lane. Take the tier 2. Problem is, Tide is pushing about the same speed as you right now with the Chen army in the top lane.
I'm not even sure what the solution is there, because like the solution's definitely not just not smoking. You need to smoke. You need to apply pressure. You need to look for kills. But you basically have to get him farming a camp with a ward that scouts him from trees with the Shadow Shaman. That's it. That's the only way. Because the moment he sees the Firefly, he's pressing rage. The moment he sees Shadow Shaman's little icon appear on the map, he's pressing rage.
I mean, is
That's
it
why
me?
I feel like they need a blink. They really need a blink.
Yeah, the first to say to that is, to me, does it feel like the Grimstroke should be the one buying all these wards, and the Shaman should be the one going straight for like a blink or an Aether Lens?
Ether Lens would be quite nice. Grimstroke almost has his, but once again, like you see the Grimstroke, he has Phantom's Embrace. You just instantly press your rage. It's not an instant disable, so even the Grimstroke with the Ether Lens is not going to be enough. They definitely need either a blink on Bat, blink on Wraith King, which they almost have. This'll help a lot. This is probably why Bat's not building the blink, is because Excalibur has the blink. Very soon. He went for the armlet build.
There is a concern that if they don't strike soon, they just fall out of this game, because Lifestealer has the Radiance now, and you know that no one on the side of Singularity has a comparative farming tool. Like, don't get me wrong, the passive Razor is decent, right? But we've seen this happen, right? Once the Lifestealer just hits that peak, he accelerates at a ridiculous rate.
Kunkka BKB too. This is a huge timing for Dire. If they lose this fight, it's like the game's over. But if they win, I mean, they're very likely to win this fight. It's very rare that you see a BKB. Oh boy.
Guys, the smoke didn't break. Oh boy.
It's easy to get jebaited by Bat, because this guy is like, that's what his job is, to be in positions like that on his actual hero.
I'm wondering if W1sh accidentally hit a creep and then his smoke popped and he didn't notice or something. It looked, because W1sh was already out of smoke.
W1sh wasn't in the smoke. He was like,
oh, he wasn't in the first place. Okay.
Yeah, that was more like they smoked around him and he was just.
Oh, it's okay. Lane. They find a kill with smoke anyway. I looked thought he could just TP out here where he just saw most of the enemy team. I'll jump in. Rage has already been used. Life's still in a bit of trouble. Rav's going to be there. The boat coming in the fest. He's ready to bomb out of this. Excalibur getting low. Wraithkin goes down once. Ping checks. BKB still running. Saddling giving him a lot of damage. Zip Zap has got the rage, but is stunned up. The Hannah got to try and keep him alive. The last two to drag him back. They'll find the kill onto him. Excalibur needs to retreat though. Doesn't have a second life anymore. Spirit getting hit pretty hard because Pinvin has 168 damage. They have to retreat. That was not the way they want to go. They clean up both supports. but it's very expensive, and it's going to be getting more expensive. And Toha will go down. Toby doesn't have a Ravage anymore. Spirit gets the steal of the Plaza Field. Gonna chase him right now. The cleave through. Pinwin check getting low. The Static Link's gonna be there. Excalibur retreating. Doesn't want to fight. Toby anchor smash out on the Pinwin check to make sure he can't damage. Flash though. Still chasing very aggressively on the Wish. No way to stop him from TPing away. And Toby been left behind. Whoopsie daisy. He tried to find a kill here, but Singularity living life on the edge.
Top tower is under attack.
All right, that's pretty rough to have your timing
Backfire?
like that. Yeah,
so horribly.
That's pretty bad. I mean, it all kind of started with that reveal bot. Like the smoke didn't really pan out. You have the Grimstroke dies first, but I mean it's a 4 Grimstroke. It's not the best thing if you're getting baited onto fighting a shrine and like allowing the lifestealer to get chain lockdown like that.
And it's not a mistake to use the rage just the Grimstroke, right? Because if you get silenced there, it's the same effect. You won't be able to get it off in time.
Yeah, you definitely. I mean, in retrospect, you probably just want to kill the Grimstroke. Say, okay, that's a failed smoke, but it's good that we got at least a pick off. Position bot with wards, and then once you have the rage back up, once you have vision, once you basically can like recoup and just chill and maybe take a better fight. Like you take a fight when you have some information. Like, okay, this guy's standing on vision. We see Razor top, something like that. Because, when you use the rage like that and you follow up with the Wraith Fire Blast, just allowed to chain lockdown him.
Sorry, I'm just getting distracted. I loved having another Aethelensky. Double the cast range.
Imagine if it worked like that. That would actually be pretty good.
That's a horrifying thought.
Get like 6 Ether lenses on Shadow Shaman and Stand and Fountain.
New Zeus build. Ags and 5 Aether lenses. You move slow, but oh boy, are you an orbital bombardment tool.
It's a good amount of mana too in mana regen.
Yeah. I shouldn't give Ice Frog ideas like this. I mean, I doubt he listens to me.
The whole problem with that last fight is that it was right on the shrine, and they also didn't anticipate the Razor BKB.
Oh.
And Chen is not anticipating the smoke.
Yep. They'll stun him. Bo's coming through though. It's the choke point. Soulbind links them together. BKB from Wish though. The stun is out. Wraith King. He'll go down once. Lasso drags them both. Trying to get them on top of the cliff and they'll be able to succeed. Gonna be a TP away. The Ravage has been used. Toby chasing him right now down to half HP and Zip Zap. Rage TP's away. He doesn't want to actually fight this. Toby will be raged in a different way about that TP. Wish down to half HP. Inkswell. Push back with the flame break, but gets out of range. Beautiful lift coming out from Spirit. Allows him to back away. Drums activated and still chasing though. They can't kill off Wish. Too tanky.
That was a real nice double lasso. Love that. Onto the high ground. 2 melee heroes. Beautiful.
Does it feel like Zip Zap could have maybe fought there? Because I think he didn't realize the lack of damage Singularity had, right? Because the TP out by Wish was successful, and he's just on the back line being ignored. I guess when you're a lifesteal at this stage, you're like, no, the last one failed. I just want to farm.
The moment your Chen is dead and you have 2 people on the high ground, that kind of feels bad. Like if there's any fight that you're not going to take, it kind of feels like that's one that you should be like, all right, we'll call this one a dud and we'll fight the next one. We'll take the next good fight.
Yeah, just buy 90 seconds, wait for the Ravage, and wait for the disarm, which they now have.
Hey, he's got the Force Staff now on Tide, which is like a bit of a pseudo initiation. It's something that'll help from protecting from like the Shadow Shaman single target, Wraith King single target. Doesn't unfortunately do anything to the lasso unless you Force Staff the bat.
Unless you want to help him.
Yeah, that might help him though. So gotta look out. So that gives him some sort of not instant initiation, but he could force into Ravage and get a better position fights. Sure. Still
I like
no Blink Dagger on anybody. Like the Rubik doesn't have Blink either.
Yeah, I like he's going for the Solar Crest though, just to buff up that physical damage that can come out.
Yeah. It'll help for whoever's getting focused as well. Like he can force them, he can Solar Crest them. End of Vlad's aura.
He's basically a support.
Yep. I love these items. These kind of items that have like a dual purpose of aggressive and defensive. Like Force Staff, it can be used aggressively, defensively. Vlad's, like it gives you armor, it gives you lifesteal, but it also gives you damage. This hero is, Tide could be played as a carry. In fact, he is, but also he wants to build as an offlaner. So if you build these items that do both, then it's just great for scaling into the...
Scanning.
We'll see how it scales. This guy's level 2 ultimate now, so he might look to make a play soon, but there's no rush, right? You know that when you look at Singularity's lineup, they're more focused on fighting than you, right? You've got a lifesteal, you've got a Kunkka, you know you can farm a little bit faster than a Wraith King who hasn't, well, he's gone for the Maelstrom, but he hasn't gone for the Radiance, which is like, it feels definitely faster. It's easy to build in the Maelstrom, but the Radiance definitely feels a lot faster.
I like the choice to go for the armlet build though, like the Maelstrom armlet build. Probably gonna pick up an MKB at some point to deal with the Lifestealer evasion. Like it's the way to counter Lifestealer. You can actually trade effectively with them once you have the MKB.
And honestly, they're about to hit some big power spikes. They've got the AC coming out on Razor, and they have enough for the Mjolnir.
Dire are
They could easily just roach her. They will. Bat Rider making sure he's even helpful with this as he stacks up the napalms. Getting all the value out of that AC. And you have to know this is going on the side of 682, but there's really nothing you can do about it.
They don't have great poke into the pit. It's just the Kunkka Torrents.
has fallen to the Raider.
But
I think it's like, at this stage, they have to expend so much for the big ultimates, right? They need not only the Ravage, but like the boat, which means you've got nothing when Wraith King comes up the second time. Oh, that's scary.
This is where Chen kind of feels bad. Oh boy, that was greedy.
Well, look at the D ward. They won't remove him from the map though. Just the vision.
Wraith King can be bought. They have to be very careful mid on the side of the Radiant.
Dash slam ping down.
Straight back.
They can't initiate and raise though. He's just guarding. He's frontlining this.
I think Excalibur's just pushing with skeletons. He's just trying to get the skeletons onto the
He's
lane.
actually going for the BKB next. It's not something we see picked up too often on a hero like Wraith King. But you can actually respect it in this type of game. Just the X lockdown control is frustrating for this hero.
And Tide Hunter too. You just always have to build a BKB against Tide. He just stops you in your tracks in fights.
Yeah, like you're willing to give over your first life, but you want to find something out of it. And if you just get perma-stunned, you're doing nothing.
Yeah.
The confidence. But look at this Sid's tower.
Dire's middle
It just feels like 682 never feel like they've got enough gold in them.
Radiant's top tower is
I mean, there's an Aegis now right on Singularity. Sure, you dodged that out. But most of the game has just been, is Zip Zap farming elsewhere? And are we losing too much on the other side?
Yeah. I'm not 100% sure what it would take for to like win a fight at this point. If Singularity just press their spells with an Aegis.
Okay, that was a lot closer than he realized. Zip Zap had miscalculated, and he may have miscalculated still. Stun comes out, full stuff to get him away. Basically, he raged, but his TP was still on cooldown, and Bat Rider was getting very close to being able to jump in. Luckily for him, Bat had not bought his Blink Dagger yet.
He will have it soon. It looks like he's considering holding buyback. Maybe they want to do some sort of, because he has travel, so if he goes in and dies, forces a bunch of spells. Like if that's the thing with the Ravage. If Ravage is expended, Dire can't fight. So if you just die on Bat and then come back, and they use the Ravage to kill the Bat, I think that's actually worth it. I wonder if that's what he's thinking. That's a really interesting play if it is. It's definitely a good way that they can take high ground here, is if somebody just goes in and dies for the Ravage. It's back.
A different approach to it.
They're just kind of abusing the map at this point. Like they know that Dire's sitting in their base. They don't have vision of it exactly, but they can see that all the lanes are pushing in. Like they have lane vision.
And as you said, this doesn't feel good. You know, you got this Chen. He's not able to really do anything anymore. I mean, look at his XP as well. He's fallen so far behind, level 9.
This is one of those situations where it feels really bad to have a Chen on your team. Like you'd much rather it be some Winter Wyvern, some hero that will contribute regardless of having very few levels and items.
I mean, you feel good if you've maybe got something like a Bat Rider, right? Something that can go push out the other lane so you can call them back. But there's no real great combo. Like a lot of these heroes can easily get caught.
It would probably be Tide, but he's having kind of a rough game, and
He can't afford to die either.
Kunkka's kind of the hero. Like it's just Kunkka, but he also needs a front line to like defend the racks. But I guess that's why you have the Chen. It's not bad. They have decent heroes for.
True.
But
they got layovers
Chen does
as well.
contribute very little to team fights. He's just a healer at this point. He just heals.
He buys the smokes too, you know. He's doing things with his gold. See if it can be enough though. They're getting ready to push in.
Looks like they're just smoking toward 2 because...
W1sh. Oh, this is a mistake. He might die quick enough here. Lasso dragging him back. The X is there. But is it going to drag him back in time? Yes, it will. Long range shackles on him, though. So if he can bodyguard him, W1sh down to half HP. They threw a lot into that. Now the boat, not going to connect. Soulbind. Hit Toby and W1sh hit together with the Ray Fire Blast as well. Toby starts up. He needs to get that Ravage off, but he can't right now. BKB from W1sh. Look at the turnaround. X going to come out to Ping Ping check. Excalibur focusing the racks. We'll be able to get the melee racks already. Ping Ping check down to half HP. They can't hard commit the Ravage, though. And Toby needs to be careful. These Serpent wants to do a lot of damage. He's going to die to it. He goes down. 45 seconds on the sideline. They're going to get back in. Yeah, he's got the buyback. Jump in. Chen's gone, though. Now the BKB chasing in. Ping Ping check. Looking for this kill to be able to find it. Rubik has to buy back as well. Looking at more. Reincarnate gets popped. He got the Ravage. This is the perfect moment, but the problem is he can't get close enough. X forcing out the BKB from Excalibur. He'll be able to back away. Mistakes made by 682. They can't get anything for this. Maybe Love, but that's a consolation prize at best.
Aegis is about to despawn, so they're getting out.
Great conductor.
Beautifully done by Singularity, realizing their timings. And you said it earlier, when a Tide falls behind, what does he do? He definitely doesn't frontline, as we saw there, dying to the Serpent wards.
It feels really bad to play this hero from behind, because the way that he plays the side lanes like Batrider is not by being like mobile and difficult to kill in that way. It's more so like usually you do it by being just so tanky that the enemy team doesn't want to go on you. But if you're just having a rough game, then they just will go on you and you can't play the side lanes, and all of a sudden you don't have a hero that can really do that other than your Kunkka. But your Kunkka needs to be doing things on the map, so you don't want your Kunkka doing that either. It's rough. I mean, Tide's still a good hero. I'm not saying it's like a bad hero or something, but it's
and if you can survive long enough, it will definitely be relevant.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
Just a matter if you can. The Lasso coming out on the Rubik. Kirby does have the Ravage to work with. Reluctant to throw it out, though. Healing up. Nice anchor smash. Lads gives him a lot of health back, and oh no. The life of a poor level 11 Chen. He's the sacrificial lamb here. Both supports going down the side 682. And remember, Rubik, he bought back, so he's gone for 60 seconds.
That's an important
mid lane
point too.
Okay, Zipzap's fine. It looked like Ping might chase that, but the static link, it can get on him. As the Lincoln's now on this lifestealer.
The way that I see Dire winning team fights is from Rubik like stealing Wraithfire Blast, using the telekinesis as setup, Wraithfire Blast thing, and then using something like a Shadow Shaman stun. Like if they can get the chain lockdown from Rubik, they can actually kill like any hero on the Dire. I mean, it's not easy, but they can do it. Oh, Zip Zap. He's
got the Wraith
There's no
TP
loss,
out.
though.
Yeah, they really need the Wraith King in position. Perfectly timed that. But yeah, it's that cast animation. There is time. Like Zip-Zap should be able to react. And static link coming out. Problem is, this lifesteal is pretty fast. 417 movement speed. It's about the face boots. They just love movement speed talents.
I do love them if I'm playing the hero. Not if I'm
I mean, you're an offlaner. Of course you love them. I mean, everyone loves them, but especially offlaners.
Well, it's always carries to have them these days. Well, okay, sorry, carries don't have movement speed talents. Sometimes they do, but it's more the carries are like Sven, Lifestealer, and Wraith King, and they're all 330 movement speed.
And then their items, you know, a lot of those heroes can just build into Manta and feel good about it. Or Yasha at least.
Phase boots as well. They're all phase builders. I'm telling you, man, there's a trend. Movement speed is broken.
Yeah, it's just like, don't forget when they changed it to be on Agi heroes. They had to then do something to make strength heroes better.
Yeah.
Stuff's getting dirty, I'm telling you.
I think it's been like adequately proven historically that movement speed is very strong.
Yeah, so it fits into the mobility category, which is so decisive with Blink Dagger and Force stuff.
Speaking of which, this Lifestealer, his entire build is kind of dedicated to just not dying. And,
yeah.
That's how you build Lifestealer. It's not a criticism. It's just that it's another one of those things like with the Tidehunter when you're in a game that's going like this. It's really rough being a Lifestealer because where's the damage? Where does the damage come from? Lifestealer is just tanky and survives fights, but you're against a bunch of BKBs. So like,
it's like, how do you utilize the Ravage, right? Like, okay, we Ravage. Do we burst anyone down? No. No one dies in this time.
Dire are scanning.
It's just kind of the Kunkka that does damage, but even Kunkka, he's got an AC, he's got Armlet. He doesn't have the Daedalus yet. He's got a Halberd, he's got a BKB. These are like relatively defensive items.
And if they initiate on Excalibur, you don't feel good either. I mean, they're pinging him. It's the only one showing. They know that Singular has to be around it somewhere, and Slashlow trying to move him right now. Zip-Zap needs to be very careful. They see Slashlow, blink in. pretty aggressively. Well, Sun's come out. Toby gets the Ravage out just in time, with the BKB activated by Slash, so chasing forward. Looking on Antoa, not the optimal target. The boat does clash with Excalibur's face, and Toby in full retreat. We'll be able to get away, but he just expended a Ravage simply to stay alive. And Zip Zap being chased onto. Nullifies out, stunned up for the Ray Fire Blast, trying to move away, but no, the big crits are enough. He's down, the hand got way too late. Antoa, he can't even save his carries, let alone his own life. 3 dead already, chasing through for more, and Wish, he's going to be overwhelmed. The power overwhelms you of this Wraith King. Go to hell. He'll BKB, trying to move away. The buyback comes out. He'll stay alive courtesy of the torrent. Life Stealer though. Oh no, the last two dragging him back. Couldn't get BKBs ran out. He's dead. Zip Zap, he's fought back, but now he can't do anything alone. And the best thing you can do right now is what Spirit's doing, which is buying himself some time with his bounties. Just trying to make sure some buybacks are available. There's Chen's. But what does the Chen do? We've said he's feeling useless in this game. And you're missing your big ultimate and your big carry. Zip Zap moving in. Looking on his Shash low. Pull stuff away. Static Link just drain a lot of damage, but Batrider doesn't really care about that. Infested it in the catapult to try and get away. Reincarnate goes pop. Jackal's long range on the Spirit, going to control him up. Excalibur does have the Ray Fire Blast. So easily find the kill, doesn't even need the stun, and Zip Zap needs to back away. Linkus gets popped. Nullifier's there. Oh, mistakes made. Rage. A lot of damage being done, though. We'll be able to move away. The Static Link's still running. Pinvin Check getting a lot of damage here. 236, and he'll whip Chen into shape or whip him into the ground. 70 seconds on the sideline. It looks like Singularity going to end this game. I don't know if 682 can do anything else. The GG comes out.
I just watched Excalibur in that fight.
What did he do?
He denied 2 creeps while Rubik was getting shackled. Like, that's how confident he is. He's just like, nope, I'm gonna kill you now.
I mean, it's good you bring that up because that kind of summarized the game. We talked about it a little bit earlier. It's like the whole game.
I wanna go back to the rotation by ping to the bot lane.
Hello, folks. Welcome back to the EU qualifiers. The TI9.
Dire team ban.
Against everybody, so they don't actually feed specific. It's a whole, like, you know.
Sorry, the layers and dynamics and tactics it's feeding. Okay.
Right.
Like this, like I feel like your region has misunderstood tactical feeding here. And you create strategic feeds.
Oh yeah, people are good at feeding. Like people abuse feed.
There's a skill to it.
This is so tangential anyway. Doesn't matter. You know what else has picked up a lot in my region? Mars. I was surprised
That's every
to not
region.
see this. It depends on the teams. It's weird. Some teams are completely not favoring it at all. But
That's true.
I love this hero versus Spirit Breaker, and if you put the Mars ulti down, it slows your movement speed to 0, so you can't charge through it. And if you put it on Centaur, I mean, it make you can't use the Centaur ult and just get out of it. Like, it's a really good counter to both of these heroes, and just generally a good hero in Dota, and also pretty good with Grimstroke. He melee guy to run in and.
It's true. Although I do see one issue for TFT is they've picked this. It is a good counter pick, but they've left themselves open to one of the most frustrating things to face when you're Mars, and that is the Disruptor.
10 seconds remaining.
I wouldn't be surprised if 682 do actually pick that up next, as they have clear room in the draft for it.
I feel like Mars in general is just instant disables, like in his, like if you can prevent the spear from being cast, that's real good. Like, I played against like Shaman, Lion, like those heroes are pretty annoying. I could see Disruptor being annoying. Grimstroke too. You just throw the bug on the Mars. But then again, he does pick up a BKB eventually, and also with the Blink Dagger, you could kind of chain it quick enough.
Yeah, I guess my thought is, like, you see him jump in, you just static storm straight away, right? Like, that's how this usually goes down. And in that time, like, you think about that mid-game transition, if Mars doesn't get his ultimate up when he jumps in straight away, it's not the most tanky of heroes. Usually the builds are like flats.
I think Disruptor's an underrated hero. I think he's super good against Omni Knight, and Omni's like an S-tier hero, although both of the offlaners picked up here, so not gonna see an Omni unless it's a 5 Omni.
Yeah, I was about to say we could see it because we have seen a little bit of a slide towards POS 5 Omni Knights recently. A few teams specialize in it.
It's good with Troll. It's really good with Troll. It's good with Breaker as well. You just put the double status resist. And
I mean, it's good with all these, right? Because Centaur strength hero, if you actually give him all that extra strength that early in the game, he becomes unkillable.
10 seconds remaining.
True. It's interesting to see a Troll picked up against Mars. Like, I'd say Mars is like particularly good against pop the ulti, kite him, and in lane you have the shield. It's called Bulwark.
Hello, isn't the Bulwark, but I was about to hit this. This is a Chessie special. Probably one of the most recurring heroes I ever see him play these days. Is of course the Tiny.
Chessie plays Tiny too?
Plays the crap out of Tiny.
I know that Limp plays Tiny.
Yeah, it's kind of beautiful, right? The two bros. You can just see them in the 1v1 mids, right? Both Tiny. Who's the better?
Makes sense. Oh, that's a possibly 5 Magnus? I mean, I suppose it could be a mid Magnus too.
10
That's why they picked the
seconds
troll.
remaining.
They want to go for the mag draft.
I mean, it works well with a lot. Like, imagine Centaur empowered with Retaliate maxed out. That's
Oh yeah, that's a nice combo. Surprisingly,
dirty.
it seems like something that wouldn't be that good, but it's ridiculous. The cleave, like if you can get also Centaur Magnus, that's a kind of classic combo where you would Magnus ulti and then Centaur stomp to follow up and double edge. It's so much damage, and then with the Empower 2 and Retaliate now, like legit these two heroes can carry fights even if the troll isn't at the fights or if the troll disabled or if he's not that strong. Like Centaur and Mag can kind of carry the early game and then troll can carry the late game.
Yeah, no, I'm liking it so far. TFT, they clearly have a focus on this mid-game aggression. And okay, I feel like that's a solid pick to just try and make sure you don't lose a lane, right? And this does suggest now that this is a tiny support, I want to say, but at the same time, you have to remember Mars has been occasionally by certain squads played as a 4 as well.
Like your Grimstroke and your Tiny to run around the map and kill people. Like they can pressure the troll really hard. It's such a good Necro game, actually. There's like 3 very tanky heroes and then a troll who does exclusively physical damage. And Necrophos has Shroud, so it's a nice game to be Necro. Although this hero's kind of dull.
Dire team ban.
In a good game, it's.
Okay, so Lifestealer was the final ban by the side of 680, so they're really concerned about, I guess you could say, the unkillable factor, right? Like, they have a lot of bulky heroes on 682 right now, so this makes sense.
I'm surprised with the Lifestealer ban. I'd really assume that this is a Necro safe lane,
10 seconds.
considering that you know that it's going to be a Centaur, because Centaur doesn't really want to play in the safe lane because he wants to cut creeps. Like, worst case scenario, you can't do that in the safe lane. So you usually want to just run Centaur straight up in the off lane. And that means Necro's lane is secured. Almost.
Apologies to those who got confused by the schedule. It's like a graphic pick. Anti-Mage versus Bald will be occurring after this one. So TFT 682 and then Anti-Mage Bald on this channel.
Excited to see Bald.
Well, every time I see Purin, there's a smile on my face. So I can relate to that area as well. Just bald people, you know, you enjoy their company. Because they remind you that you are much further away from not having hair than they.
Right. It reminds you, like, at a certain age, you will become decrepit eventually. Keel over.
Jeez.
Mortality. I totally forgot about this, actually. They have the Grimstroke Necrophos combo. Okay, so it is a Necro mid.
Oh, and the Wraith Fire Blast as well. Well, there's an undead theme towards the end here from TFT. Actually, like, you think about this more. You think about this final pick and the way this kind of pans out. 682 have been kind of pressured into this. Do we go for like a nuker to deal with the Necrophos, like Pugna, Zeus, for example? And if we do that, are we not leaving ourselves now vulnerable to the Wraith King pick?
True. Zeus is decent though because it does cancel the blink. But I don't know. Zeus.
And against Mars, actually.
Yeah, it's not bad. Well, Mars can get on this. Zeus is kind of like. Let's see. Death Prophet's still available. Does pretty decently against Necrophos in lane. OD band, yeah, OD. That hero's always second. Leshrac is still in the pool. I think Leshrac is really good against Necro. There's a lot of burst on the final tribe though for a Leshrac, and that hero's relatively speed. Queen of
the silences.
I'm not sure how Quap does in that matchup anymore.
Tinker.
Wow,
okay,
Tinker.
wow. Okay, that's someone that didn't really cross our thoughts. Tinker.
Okay, I mean
Tinker, we rarely see him these days.
I mean, there's nothing for him. There's nothing
It's
that you
like
can
tiny
do to stop him.
maybe, but that's it.
It's tiny until he gets blink on Tinker. Then it's kind of nobody. Like there's no scouting in trees for him, unless you want to count the Mars ulti, which I suppose is okay, but I don't know. You have to Mars ulti and then spear, and Tinker can easily just blink that. Like, there's very little to deal with the Tinker. I've heard from quite a few people that they think that this hero is underrated right now, and that it's pretty decent.
Didn't he recently get some buffs to, I think, March of the Machines was the primary focus?
He got, so he got a mana buff to March of the Machine at level 1, which It doesn't really matter that much because people don't use March level 1, but he got, I think, an int gain buff. He's a GPM talent now, as well as the spell lifesteal talent. It's a little bit better.
That was
the cast range talent is like 25 extra range, which is actually significant. It's definitely significant on Tinker. Like, range on Tinker, so important. Like, it means everything. It means your blink is farther. It means that your laser is farther, so you can actually use it in fights. It doesn't do anything to rockets, unfortunately. It means that your march, you can press it from farther away. Like, if you get cast range on Tinker, you can blink farther and then you can march farther. So like, you get double the effectiveness out of the cast range, because really it's all about just casting your march from the biggest distance possible.
I mean, it's also the layers they have, actually. The more you think about it, it's like TFT have to jump on the Tinker. They want to, like, preferably you always want to be able to have a team that can jump on Tinker and kill them straight away, right? You're against a Magnus, a Centaur, and a Spirit Breaker. If you stack up hard, it backfires so quickly.
Oh god, yeah. So I think TFT need to win this. They can definitely snowball this game with like superior laning. It takes a lot of time for the Radiant lineup to come online. Magnus doesn't do much in the early game. Tinker doesn't do much until he gets bots. Centaur even is kind of useless until he gets some levels. And then Troll, obviously, I mean, this hero just does almost nothing until he gets items. So there is a really good timing for TFT if they just dumpster the lanes, which is definitely possible. I also think TFT is a better team, just individually. Direct invited. That's always like a consideration. But if you can just make space for the Tinker, if you put everything into the Tinker basket this game for 682, I do believe that it will probably go pretty well for them. Just considering that there's no counters.
Jesus, those odds. I mean, you said they're direct invites to shows. 1.1 odds is what you get for TFT, and it's 4 to the side of 682. As
I
you
want to
said,
see the warding situation in mid. I want to see if Chessie actually places a ward. He does.
Yeah, he does. I mean, it can't be spotted though. He was smoked up, so he shouldn't be seen at all.
You could scout it though. You could scout that. Oh wait. No, you couldn't.
Wait, no, what?
No,
I was like, wrong side. What?
If it was on their side, they could scout.
Yes. So Chessie, he got the right move in. And that smoke round allowed them to get in position on the bot lane with 3 heroes right now. This is a potent kill combo. Problem is, you can already see it. There's a point in skew from Magnus. Like, the way that you play this hero right now, as a support, you can easily just afford to go for that early skew point.
Too bad there's no high ground here. Although that doesn't really matter.
I mean, it's more about saving his own life, right? Like, just innocently running in. Oh, this could work. Man. Well, Spirit's here as well, so he can just charge the back. So even if you spear him, there it is. He actually charged the other way, trying to secure the room, but Tiny had already picked it up. Hanskin in a little bit of trouble here, but reinforcements coming in. Suddenly Spirit has to walk away. Zip Zap can't commit to this any further. Skew across, and Turf finds 2, but now he's in a little bit of a mess himself. They have got the toss to work with. You go for some cute plays. They decide against it though.
Have spear as well.
Oh, I forgot. It's educational time. Do you know how to say the Mars name? Ignore that charge. Zeeb? Not quite. It's Xiba. Xiba. Yeah, I've been like, being an EU speciality that I am, I've gone a long way to learn Swedish names these days. For example, I used to call Jonas Johannesson fan. Now I call him Jonas fan.
Too much, man.
Sheep just giving a preview of what Spirit's got in store for himself as the game goes on. So it's actually
2 for 2 with spears.
Well, yeah, it's an interesting start. I think it's a bit too early to have an impact though, Jenkins.
Yeah. I mean, let me tell you, man, this hero's like deceivingly hard.
Oh yeah, like actually he's bugged as well. I don't know if you've seen this. There's a lot of interactions where you don't like impale people in trees. It's very, very tight, the angles.
Yeah. Especially when it comes to like pushing people up high grounds and things like that. Oh, he's skewering to the tower.
Oh, nice. They slowed him as well. Charge coming in. Zeep. It's first blood. Zip Zap gets it. Well, off to a good start. Pummeling the Mars into the dirt is definitely a good way to go.
That is basically the only way that Magnus can contribute as a support. Is if it's like Pudge as a 5. You have to hook somebody into tower. You do nothing in the lane.
But afterwards, unlike a Pudge, you do a lot with the Empower. Charge in, Askin. Remember, this hero has no armor, a lot of health, but not much left. Skewer. And Toha kind of helping him, actually. Gets impaled against the tree. Spirit has got the charge coming to cool down. The slow's going to be that Hanskin. Uh-oh. Spirit charges in. Might be giving his life for this, though. The Xiba is moving across, but there's the Salve. He'll run away. He doesn't have the mana to TP out, though. Xiba, he's committed for this kill. Decides it's not worth it, though. He'll says, okay, Hanskin, you take it.
He's wasting a lot of their time. That forces the Tiny to TP Shrine, and he's chilling behind his own tower now.
I mean, he's gonna get the mana to TP at this rate. Like, this is, remember, this is a level 1 Tiny that took toss. It's not like he can snipe out and stop your TPs easily.
Yep. He's going
He gives up.
He's not gonna get it. No way.
Yeah, you're pretty slow. Look at it just edging away. Like, nope, that's not happening. Not today.
He tried. So TFT, they trade 2 kills bot lane, but they do get an entire creep wave under tower against a tri lane, which is not that bad. It could be worse.
Hanskin, you madman. Oh, nope. Xiba wasn't ready for it. They couldn't get the spear out. Oh, no. This pub classic not working so far for them. 682. They're the ones who have been striking so far. 2-0 the score. And sitting right at the top at the moment is Zip Zap. Because of that, there's other kills he's involved in. He's almost got 2k net worth already. Although after that...
Frost and Chessie are farming really well, though.
Yeah.
Other lanes. But Centaur's just cutting. There's not much you can do against this.
I guess the concern is that, you know, you get this early gold on Troll. You mentioned it yourself. Like, he needs items. What does he do? It's really the Tinker that you want to stick all the eggs in the basket of. So far, it's not looking good. It's 12-3 to the 24 of Chessie.
But he is maxing March. Like, he didn't go... Sometimes people will go 2-2-0 and then go for points in March at level 6. But he's just committing, like, straight for farming, which I think is the correct play. Like, you just want to get farmed in this game. You don't need to pressure, man. Like, there's no counters to you. You just go late, you win the game. Awesome.
Waiting for Grimstroke ultimate combo at 20 minutes in and him dying and being dead for a century.
Yeah, that's going to be unfortunate. On the top lane, Frost dragged the creep wave from his tower to the Centaur. Centaur is not like Axe. Like, you can actually contest a Centaur if you move the creep wave to the Centaur. One of the biggest mistakes I see in pubs is that people won't drag the creep wave to the Centaur, and Centaur will just free farm. When it doesn't have to be like that. You can make it harder for him. He'll still get farm, because he'll push the lane out by doing that, but he won't get anywhere near as much. He won't free farm.
Oh boy, Zipzap's dead. They find him, and Spirit needs to be careful himself because they've got the spear coming off cooldown. They decide it's not worth the time.
And that's when the bounty guard spawns too.
Perfectly timed. And Toha has shown up in the mid lane. He's just trying to make Chessie's life a living hell. So apparently they feel like W1sh does need an easier lane. Not sure Chessie cares too much at this stage though. Said Frost doing really well. Just manipulating the lane, making sure that Centaur doesn't have an easy time. As you said, it is that type of hero that should be able to farm fine. Although he could die as well because he doesn't have level 6. You can throw out the stomp, but the Inkswell pops afterwards. One crit would do it. But so far, Frost's RNG is just not there.
Not lucky. Yeah. You could see he was going for it though. Like, he knew that if he gets a crit,
it's like one will do it and then you're dead. And I mean, Eric could have then even sniped it afterwards with the Stroke of Fate. But luckily for Centaur, no RNG.
This is one of those games where if you're Toby, you kind of wish that you cut at the tier 3 instead, because then the the Wraith King can't just come over and contest you like that.
Well, I hope you're happy. Now we're getting DMCA by Blizzard.
Well, I mean, let's be real. They're probably DMCAing legitimate reasons anyway.
Oof.
Blizzard
And a big oof in the bot lane. Sieb was left alone. Because Tiny... Hanskin has spent a lot of time mid, actually. He's been looking for this kill so much because they have 6 on Chessie. It's something very different to have. Luckily, quickly, right?
After the game.
Alright, I don't know how you pie after a qualifier, but alright.
Mars not high. Do that kind of party with me.
Jesus. This elitism right here. That's discrimination, Jenkins, right? I'm outraged. Skewer?
Chessie?
Are you really trying for this? Look at him, he's got the scythe. Gets it out, he's dead. Tiny needs to get out of here, taking a lot of damage, but so is Spirit. He's getting pretty low. Stampede used to get them away. Chessie doesn't have a point in the Ghost Route because you're laying against a Tinker. You'd have to be a suicidal madman to do that. But he'll be fine.
He has healing so much from the Heartstopper.
It's insane. And that's just casual 2 points in it so far. Like this is gonna be a quick max out, right? Because there's no way you want to level Ghost Shroud against the Tinker in the first place.
I think you can go for a point like a value point soon.
Maybe
Just
9.
Yeah, probably something like. I like to go for points in like earlier points in Heartstopper because you don't really have the mana to spam out Death Pulse. He's holding it. Okay, so he does go for the Heartstopper. Nice, dude.
Get that region.
He goes for this build as well. It's validating.
I love the Veil as well. Like this has been something I've heard some offline, especially talk about it being the new drums. Like the value when you look at the stats. I know you like to look at stats, Jenkins. Of this item are insanely good, right?
Oh yeah. Super efficient. Gives you armor. Gives you regen. Like it actually makes you pretty tanky to have a Veil. It's not like a pipe, but he can use the Veil to stand and march a little bit because he doesn't have to be so afraid of the Tinker, and he can take a couple rockets to the face, and it's fine because of that passive regen.
It also provides aggression, right? Like that's the other difference. Like you say pipe, but how often can you use a pipe aggressively, right?
I guess you could use it to.
Dire's top tower is under
That's true.
I think Veil also, now that Heartstopper aura is magical, makes a lot of sense as well. Defy it to be essentially what it was. Like before, it did nothing for Heartstopper to Veil. But now if you get a Veil, it does the exact same thing for your other spells, but it makes your Heartstopper what it once was.
Wait a minute. Arena's there. Mars has found the initiation. Troll Warlord down to half HP, but he has the battle trance to work with. It's party time. He gets stunned up by the Inkswell. The Stampede chases through. Hanskin, the target, gonna get him low. Toss across. Zip Zap won't die though. He lifesteals just enough and had a big fat wand. It'll finally pop.
Love the defensive rotation from Toby here.
Yep, and he makes more work, but nope, Magnus is gone. Chelsea said, I want to use my Cyphers off cooldown. That's the best target, right? Because you desperately want Magnus to be getting these early levels so that you can speed up Troll's farm.
Although, to be fair, he did only get 159 gold for Tiny. That
is true.
For killing the Magnus. That's pretty bad.
I mean, they didn't get much more for killing Hanskin either. 174.
They did it. Early kills are just awful in terms of gold. Like, this is
I've heard people complain about it. It's like, because a lot of players at the moment apparently feel the way, like, if you lose the lanes, it just doesn't matter. Right? It's like the mid game is just decisive. So you can actually afford to lose the lanes, just farm back in the jungle and still bounce back, which people are like, I like that. That's like a comeback. But if you're losing all 3 lanes, which I'm not saying they are in this game, but imagine a game you're losing all 3 lanes and you just go, I'm going to farm the jungle, and suddenly you're back in the game. It's kind of insane. His kills is not valuable.
I think it's kind of cool that rotations matter so much. Like, this rotation bought by Toby was really nice, but it's met by this rotation by Chessie too. Like, I think this leads to interesting Dota when you have heroes just like showing up in lanes. I'm definitely a fan of that. I mean, I'm not a fan of the idea of losing a lane and then
doing nothing,
and then winning the game by doing nothing. That kind of
I think like people's problem is the whole idea that like the comeback mechanic feels quite strong if you lose your lane right now, because it just resets your game. But that's what comeback mechanic's meant to do. And Antoha, Roshan hits hard. He's a boy without a stout shield, and it works in his favor that time. Could you imagine if he died to the Heartstopper aura there? How bad would you feel?
Bad. He's got 2 salves. No boots, 2 salves. What is going on with this man's build?
He's a walking healing ward, my friend.
He is. He's a healing ward and an empower. I mean,
if you can't afford the Vlads, you got to provide somewhere else.
Charging.
Of course.
Tiba, not the best target though. Tiba does have that bottle now, so he always has enough to respond. Spear's on cooldown though, and he'll realize he's too far back. There's nothing we can do. This is the problem, right, with the Magnus as a support. He TP's down, and you mentioned, what do you really do in lane? Because it's not like a Grimstroke, for example, where he can maybe make a kill happen. He needs that tower. It's the only way it ever occurs.
Yep, you empower Troll. That's what you do. It's your entire... Oh, he salved him!
Ooh!
He also salved him.
Does it feel like one of those games where like you bring a new friend into Dota and you're like, pick like a Magi or pick Magnus and just buff the whole game?
Follow me around and buff me. Yeah, it's one of the... I mean, that's a mag support in general, though. Like, what do you expect a mag support to do? There's not much that he does. Like, this hero doesn't generally do anything unless he's got like 12 levels or a blink dagger, and you're not going to get either of those things as 5. So you're just an empower, which is fine. A lot of 5s do less than that.
Feels like
consider Chen. He's a recall.
That's true. But I was gonna say, it actually feels like the type of hero that only really suits these teams that play the double 3.5 role, right? Because it is a hero that needs some farm himself. He wants to get towards a blink dagger at a decent time. Otherwise, he really doesn't do anything. Stampede, just to get away, but it's a mistake being made because Wraith King was there. The stun out. Mistakes actually made by TFT. No! Frost couldn't get the double crit. Just one. This man has not been finding the RNG luck so far. He has been finding the gold. 6.7k net worth at the 12-minute mark.
Huge. He's semi close to the Radiant. He's about halfway there. Chessie heads up to the top lane, try to take as many tier 1s as possible before Tinker gets bots. He's actually got 300 gold until bot. His farm's not that bad.
Is under attack. Radiant's
Yeah, it's not bad, just considering that he's obviously getting pressured, considering he's a Tinker. Chessie had a really good lane against him, but good on Chessie for recognizing that even though the Tinker kind of got screwed in lane a little bit, he's still a Tinker. You still need to get the tier 1s as early as possible, because as soon as he gets bots, those things are 10 times harder to take.
Absolutely. So TFT just ramping up that pressure, and Wraith King definitely the type of hero that provides that. King's 12 chasing in on Toby, toss back into stuns. Hello, and soon to be goodbye. There's the scythe smashing down to his face. 50 seconds on the sideline for what is already an oppressed center.
tower has fallen.
Spearbreaker just got level 6.
But what do you really do with it? I mean, even if you catch Seep here, I don't know if you can go in on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, try.
5k, with a 5k gold deficit, there's not that much. W1sh does have the bots, but he wasn't set up for the tier 2, so TFT gets that for relatively free, but I don't think this tier 2 matters that much.
Top tower has
It's just extra gold influx. TFT are building the lead. And this is where you have, like, if you're on the side of 682, you have to cauterize the wound very soon. Never strike? I don't think so. You mentioned it. You mentioned how easily Mars screws over Spirit Breakers, and we're seeing it in this game.
He's a buzzkill hero to Spirit Breaker for sure.
Which is concerning.
Like a big reason why they picked it. They insta-picked it.
Yeah, they didn't hesitate. And then this is the problem with Spirit Breaker. It's not really a hero that feels great from behind. Like, the change to the bulldoze helped a bit, but we've seen it, right? It's always been the classic. If you're playing this as a support and you're behind and you, like, what do? You just charge in and you die within like 5 seconds. Someone's dying top. Stampede used, troll or trapped in. He already used the battle trance. Xiva fine up against him, needs to push him into the wall, but he can't. No, he gives him the lifesteal to stay alive. The charge through into Aaron X as well. Runes are up for 30 seconds, and it looks like the side of 682 are going to grab some extra gold alongside them.
Fade from memory.
Interesting play.
Okay,
I mean, if it pays off, it's great though, right?
I actually kind of get the salves on Magnus. He just salved the troll again. It's like troll gets really low, right? And then pops his ulti, and then the enemy team kind of focuses him, and he's sitting at like 20% HP. It's so you can salve and empower the troll after a fight, and he can keep farming.
That's true.
Yeah, I actually think that's what he's doing.
But look at his net worth as a result of this.
Sure, but
Jesus.
he actually sent out another salve and just did it again to the troll. Like I can't believe it. It's part of the strat. It's the troll mag. He's just committing
to the extreme. Yeah,
he's hard committing to this, to supporting the troll. This guy feels like he could be an IO right now, you know?
You know, it makes more sense than those people that buy like 5 salves who could have bought tranquils in this situation. He realizes he's the tranquils for troll.
He still doesn't have boots. He sent out 2 sentry wards instead of boots.
Like, honestly, the Spirit Breaker, I mean, he almost has his own, but at this stage, I would accept the Spirit Breaker having Zilch and the Magnus getting something, because this is painful to look at.
Oh yeah, you definitely wanted him. Oh my god.
Never started, like, yeah, please don't follow through that Spirit.
Everything that Mars does interrupts the Spirit Breaker ultimate.
Yeah.
Or Spirit Breaker charge, like everything.
I mean, everything Mars does screws over most of the side of 682, right? Like,
true.
Troll, if he doesn't have the lockdown alongside him to control you in the middle of your ult, and he battle trances, you just run behind your wall and watch him hit himself.
Or you just turn. That also works. Base him. When Tinker gets blink, Mars is not excellent against him.
Chase on Toby. There's the arena. They used to stampede, but he's already up against the wall, pinned in place. Tossed up on the spot to keep him there even longer. Stomp's going to come out, but guess what? Frost is here, baby, and he's ready to party. There's the Fire Blast coming out. Hanskin has got the Avalanche. One hit from Frost will do it and get himself the kill. And while that's happening on the other side, they strike. They find Chessie. Big kill for them there. Spirit Breaker is finally able to do something.
Tinker has Blink now. He's pretty swole, actually. He has a laser maxed out soon. Heat-seeking missile maxed out. Blink dagger. He's gonna have the cast range talent soon. This guy is coming online.
And you said that's where they have to invest. That's where they have to prioritize. And it's not too bad for them on Zip Zap either. Almost 9k net worth. Although this is a big power spike for TFT. They did just pick up the Radiance on the Wraith King.
Pretty huge, but I am concerned for TFT that there's really no way to get on the Tinker. They don't have the tiny blink just yet. They do have the Mars blink, but Tinker has blink as well. In fact, he might even go for the cast range talent over laser. Oh, he does. Okay. Because that way...
I mean, you don't want to be near them. You have to stay out of the burn range.
Yeah, it's very important.
I think the other problem with this kind of burn build is you can do something else in Necrophos, which is this Guardian Greaves build, but you usually want to see something like the Radiance, right? You just want to get super aggressive. They're getting aggressive with Frost right now. He made a mistake. Wrong area of the neighborhood. It does not have the mana. And, well, the reinforcements are coming. He could have wandered maybe, but he got stunned before he could actually finish it off. And now W1sh chasing forward. Have to throw down the arena just to retreat. It's still a level 1 arena, so that's a long time on cooldown. Toby stabbing from behind. Snipe's going to go down on the Spirit Breaker, though. Not the most desirable of targets. Hero's going to chop. There's Soulbind linking two together. Toby getting pretty low. Spear to push him further away. I'll activate the Shrine, but look at this. 682 is still pushing in. And look, W1sh, he's ready to go again. Your Blink aggressively decides against it, even with the Scythe on cooldown. And Toa, he'll skew her out to safety.
That is an unfortunate time to die on... Oh, this is dead.
Yeah, it's... Going to the glue factory. See you later, buddy.
I'm pretty sure you just die in Magnus there. Like, even if they have no spells, they just follow you and right-click you with faster movement speed.
This is true. It's almost like boots are considered one of the best items in the game.
They're pretty legit.
But not for this guy. Oh, no. This guy knows better. You see, look at old Toha here. It's really important that he has more salves.
And sentries.
Yeah, I think he stopped buying them now. I think he's doing what we've been seeing a bit more regularly recently, which is you just stockpile your wards and then go on a mass ward D-ward around your timings.
Is under attack.
He bought Windlace.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
I mean, that's the poor man's boots.
Radiant's
Power faster. And clarity. So you just gave him a clarity, too.
Got everything covered.
He does? If he could get to the blink, I think that's pretty important. I mean, they're doing pretty well. Like, they stopped TFT's timing, and they have a Tinker. Very little to counter.
Like, this is probably
free farming too.
This is probably the closest you get to breastfeeding in Dota, right? Like, it's literally just sustaining him until he becomes a big boy.
Are you telling me you've never breastfed while playing Dota before?
Can't say I have. Have you?
Sir, what did you just reveal to me? I mean, yeah, dude.
I mean,
how do you think I gain MMR?
I've admired the milk to sustain your bones so you can click for hours. Amazing.
Yeah. I don't have any wrist issues, you know?
I'm not gonna lie, I've checked out some really nice looking ones while I've been casting. Lizards, actually. Yeah, amazing packs, actually.
Yeah.
Man of Steel.
He doesn't like when you try to go for it, though.
I mean, that's because you don't know him well enough.
Oh. Maybe I should know better before I try to breastfeed.
What? How did we end up here? Get me out. Team needs to get out. Oh, there's a Scythe. Gets him. No, Troll's gone. 75 seconds on the sideline. Tinker a little bit late to the party, and the Guardian Greaves go. Toss forward. Charge forward. It's Chessie going in with a Ghost Shroud, chasing onto the Death Pulse. They're so tanky, but not for long. Not against the passive. There's a Necrophos. 3 dead, 4 dead. The only one alive is Toby. And that Stampede was used, and all it done is got him out. Beautifully done by TFT. It's amazing what a tier 1 mid does for you.
Feels bad, man. Troll had a BKB, 10 seconds. Didn't use it. That's just one of those situations where you play a little bit over aggressive. You under respect your opponent's damage, and they kill you before you... It's like what happened bot with Frost. He walks bot and just considers himself like this immortal god because he has reincarnation and radiance. It's like, oh, this is our huge timing. I'm gonna go bot. Then he just dies. Same thing just happened mid with Troll. Like carries in this game, the carries are throwing. Like both of the carries are like pushing their timings so hard that they're just kind of like over pushing their timings.
I mean, it's like the problem I see here is that TFT have the carry that can play more stupid and get away with it, right? Like you have a second life to work with, whereas Patrol gets caught out. You have to actually still be
does
alive
as
to hit your
well,
ultimate. Yeah, but you have to be alive for it. That's the problem.
For one of them, he doesn't have to press R. The other one, he does have to press R. But
Well,
they're both 150 mana immortality spells.
So technically what it is one has to press R and the other one has to press whatever his wand is on.
Correct. It's like the key is different.
But
Man,
soon enough.
It's hard to be a carry, isn't it? It's a rough life out there these days.
Jesus. But soon enough it gets easier because he's approaching that juicy level 20 talent on Wraith King. Then you don't even have to press any buttons.
He's so over leveled. 22 minutes. This guy's almost 18.
He goes a stupidly fast Midas. This Roche though, this is not going fast enough. Eric is just spotted out. A stroke of fate connects on the zip zap and suddenly that's a full retreat. Get the hell out of dodge. Toby was trying to look at your centaur. He was not tanking that successfully.
This is not a hero that's great at taking Roche. Like, you'd think he is because he's got the retaliate and he's tanky, but I swear to God, every time I walk into Roche Pit of Centaur and tank that thing, it takes you to half HP in a few hits. That Roche hits hard, man.
Especially with this build.
Damage plus 138. You joking?
I mean, the other thing is he's gone for the magic resistance build, and of course, as we know, Roche does a little bit of magic, but mostly he just smashes you in the face with his big physical DPS. The big clicks. The question is, yeah, TFT, are they going to do it? They are indeed. Frost says, all right, if they won't come finish what they started, we'll finish it for them. And it won't take him very long, not with this armlet. Good lord.
Look at the skeletons, man.
You know the game's going bad when the troll does Roche quicker than you. Kirby trying to jump in. Stomp just in time. Another spear. Can he do enough here? The arena goes down. The snatched up Aegis chest. He does have it on him. Now the battle trance chasing in. Looking on to Toby here. He's going to get him low enough. And now Wraith King willed through. Goes down. The mana was burnt. He's dead. Has to buy back on the centaur to get back in his Necrophos. First life has been exposed and given over. Zip zap. In trouble. Going to be tossed back. Soulbind is there. Slowing him down. Cleaving him back. Avalanche does connect. Spirit him back into the pit. The RP only connected on the Necrophos. And no, and Toha. Now you've trapped Troll together. Stomping from Toby. Beautifully done. Going to get them low here. Necrophos to stay alive though. Ghost Shroud to protect him. Take a lot of damage from the March of the Machines. They need to retreat because Tinker is still able to get into the fight each time. Toby trying to go in. Avalanche to cover him though. Side turn around. He's going to go down instead. He tried for the kill of Chessie. Now just the tip of the spear hit on Antoa as he skewers Chessie back. Chessie getting low. Might go down. They need to rearm and fire again. They will. The Ghost Shroud actually killing him off even easier. And Antoa, Jibe isn't even finished off the kill. Error will instead. And on the back line, they finally find Zip Zap. So Tinker does stay alive, but he's not got any friends left. They're all dead. They're all gone. And one of them even died back.
I guess that's one solution to Tinker, is just kill his entire team and ignore the fact that he exists.
He's a pseudo Timbersaw.
Like, bury your head in the sand and just hope that he goes away, and he kind of does. I mean, 682 played that fight really well. I think the Centaur Stomp, as well as like the Mag RP, they did everything that they could to prevent the Necrophos from scything Chessie, or from scything the Troll. And long enough that they could actually kill Chessie. But the rest of the team just like died to the other heroes while that was happening. Like Troll was just off to the side there, dying on his own, while Tinker was blowing up Chessie.
There are going to be problems as this goes on. Like your Tinker, if you, I want to say if 682 can force like 20 more minutes, maybe your Tinker just kind of forces this game back in your hands, right? But there's already a pipe now complete on Chessie. He could opt for a BKB next. At which stage, what does your Tinker do?
I guess he would try to get like a Hex at that point, but Hex build on Tinker feels so bad just because plus nerf.
Especially with so many targets. Oh, the spear! Skewer away by Antoa just in time. T-Bear blinked forward, so he needs to retreat fast because reinforcements are coming. They'll be hunting for him. He doesn't have TP for 15 seconds. They look the wrong way. And he should be fine. Zip Zap is not checking that tree. He's going to do it now. They just shouted it out. T-Bear needs to get out of here. He has got the spear. He needs to pin him to a tree and run. The arena thrown down to cover his escape with the avalanche as well. Zip Zap won't get the kill. The charge through. They actually used to stampede here. Centaur? Oh, well, he got the last hit in the mid lane from the creep. So it was worth the stampede.
Yeah, I'd definitely say the stampede's worth gold.
Whoa, 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 whoa. No one said it was a range creep.
No, I got two creeps. He got two creeps.
Oh, okay, there you go. Look at you. You knew. See, you play offlane a lot. You knew what he was doing it for.
Oh, yeah. I mean, obviously. It's such an obvious play, you know. You Centaur ulti for the melee creep.
I'm starting to get an insight into why you didn't quite make it to the qualifier, bud.
Because offlane is... Because the heroes I was playing are glitched, and the enemy team is picking overpowered champions.
How much Tide did you play? There was a pause there, and when you said it, it kind of sounded like you began to tear up. I'm like, I'm sorry. I feel bad now.
I mean, I have the tissues for a reason.
Some people would argue what the reason is.
It's not for crying. It's for what I was expecting to do after winning the qualifier.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Team exercises. That's good. Well, you should work out more. You should get more sword because 2k HP is not enough to stay alive against the Tinker.
Radiant's bottom
They are smoking.
BKB too now. That's a high skill thing to do on Tinker. It's pretty annoying to have to micromanage a BKB in your inventory, honestly. Your backpack, it cools down slowly. It doesn't refresh, obviously, with your rearm. Only good Tinkers go BKB. I know that sounds ridiculous, but it feels really weird for muscle memory to have a BKB. But it's so good.
A moment of sadness for Tinker as he has to micromanage his inventory.
He can't just refresh an item.
Oh, the Stomp misses. They jumped on the Zip Zap here. The Stampede trying to protect with BKB. Sheep going in. The RP, beautifully done now. The Baltron chasing in on them. Tinker has arrived. They'll find one of the Necrophos, but Jibe with the 10-second BKB moving away. The Sword Bind linking them together. The buyback's going to come up. Necrophos, he wants to get that double side, but he can't get out quick enough. The double disarm instead. Frost just chasing in. Looking on the troll wall. Going to pin him against the tree. The Stomp there from Toby to try and protect, but the bird is just whittling him down. The charge in. The cleave through. They'll be able to pop through him once. Reincarnate going to bring him back up. Zip Zap low on HP. They need to TP anyone out who they can, and Toa will escape, but Spirit and Zip Zap will be left for dead alongside Toby. Beautiful turnaround. Even though Chessie really didn't do much with that buyback, his team still kill free.
It's still a win condition to have Chessie buy back there. I mean, they come out ahead because they killed 3 heroes.
Yes.
But has Tinker died yet this game? He seems like a real problem. He's died once. All right, in the mid lane.
Yeah, that was really early. I think the way to look at that buyback, I think you're right. He had to do that because if he doesn't, there's not a threat, right? The threat of even one scythe is huge for 682, especially if they catch Tinker.
Yeah, that's kind of how they kill Tinker is with the scythe. It's they clip him with something and he sits at 70% HP and they scythe and then they use another spell on him and they kill him. Other than that, they don't have really any way to catch him.
I mean, you could scythe into Spear, basically. Yeah. So there are means to deal with Tinker, but they are not the easiest to execute.
Especially without a Blink Dagger on Chessie. He's going for an Eon Disc
Aeon.
as well.
Oh, pin onto Toby. He's gone. Melts so damn fast, and the Scythe just in time. Just a cheeky little press of the R at the end causes 80 seconds on the sideline for Centaur, and he doesn't have buyback because he bought back before they know it's on cooldown.
Can't push into Tinker though.
And of course, you know, you're being pushed elsewhere by the most typical choice of split pushing hero in the Spirit Breaker. Call those. I mean, you can just pull those and run away. It's fine, as you just saw there. Although they did just give up 4 runes to the side of TFT, so that gold lead is building.
Yeah, that's a rough one. I would like to see Chessie build a Blink Dagger this game instead of an Eon Disc. He might change it. It might just be like one of those things. Have an idea for what you want to build, but you're not 100% sure because you just don't have the gold item.
Yeah, it feels like Blink or even BKB would be really good here.
I'm not a huge fan of BKB on Necro just because you can't. It feels really awkward to. You can't Ghost Shroud while you're BKB'd, but
That's
I mean,
true.
Considering that
The Tinker does a lot. I think the problem is like the Tinker does a lot, but I think my biggest problem with it is like
the troll does a lot too, though.
yes, and it's also that you have a pipe already, and it never feels good to have a pipe and a BKB.
Yeah, it's awkward. It's awkward. I mean, I could see it though, still, just like because you have to, but I don't know.
Like I think you reach a
Tinker's not
stage where it
huge
makes
problem.
sense.
I don't think the Tinker's a huge problem for Necro at this point.
That's true. We saw it in the last fight, right? Like the last 2 fights. Just ignore Tinker. Let him have what he wants and take double what he gets.
Yeah, it was. It's troll. It's troll that was the issue in that fight. If they can do the same thing again, get Chessie, it's pretty good. But the thing is, that was a miracle RP from Antoa, and I don't foresee that happening again because he doesn't have a Blink Dagger. That's why I call it a miracle RP. Like he just was in position.
They just kind of came to him.
Yeah, that opportunity doesn't present itself a lot when you're a support Magnus. Like, you need a Blink Dagger to make those opportunities happen.
And things are going to get worse as time goes on because Heber is going towards that Heaven's Harbor next. And there is a BKB being queued up by Frost. Sick of being locked down here, and he's getting ever close to that level 25, and we've seen what Wraithfire AoE Blast can do.
It's ridiculous. Who in God's name would go 25% lifesteal?
Maybe the 5 melee lineup that's being countered hard and can never reach hero.
There's 3 kings.
But it's okay because they built Skadies, so they can deal with ranged heroes now. That's like, there'll be one game in 1,000 where you maybe consider going for a vampiric or a lifesteal and then regret it. Every time you do it, you regret it.
But you consider it 1 in 1,000.
But you do still regret it. Yeah.
Yeah. Necro goes for the magic resistance talent, and even though it scales pretty terribly, gives him like an extra 10% magic resist or something like that for what's supposed to be 20. It's still quite good.
Every little helps in this situation.
It really does. Especially
think he
considering
goes-
his regen.
Yeah, do you think he goes for the Death Pulse at level 25? Because he's kind of turning into more of kind of the healer of the team, right?
I can't help but think that the Heartstopper against 3 extremely tanky melee here, like strength heroes, and
it's
then a
really good.
troll, it feels a little too good. But I do like the idea behind going the Death Pulse, just because if you can out heal the Tinker March.
Exactly. It's literally your health versus his mana at that stage, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's like it might tip the balance where you can actually run into him, but
Actually, I don't know. I don't think he would just because he didn't take the Death Pulse heal. I think if he took the 15 Death Pulse heal, maybe. A Scythe jumping, Troll's gone. 110 seconds on the sideline, and Toa has to get out of here quick, or he'll disappear just as quickly as his Troll Warlord did. Troll does have buyback. W1sh is going to be up in 55 seconds, though, which is much sooner than him actually returning to the battlefield. We stopped for a moment to discuss things, and what was that, 1.5 seconds, maybe 2? He just disappears.
so I wasn't even sure who it was that they were going on. He just died instantly.
I mean, literally, the timing is what? The Scythe animation. So it was like 1.5. It was definitely 2 seconds maximum for him to die there. Good lord.
He died in the toss and the Scythe animate.
Dire's bottom
And you can already see TFT, like, they use that for the roast. They're waiting right now. They're like, it's got to be up soon. Even if it's a longer spawn, like, statistically, it's likely that this troll will be dead. And we will just get an easy Aegis on our side.
Right, and I mean, if they can force his buyback, like a late buyback, defend W1sh, it's very good. I mean, even if they stand in the pit right now and just cause the Radiant to scan the pit, and then the Radiant buys back because they think W1sh is happening, like, they don't need to take this rush. They just need to use this as a method of forcing the troll to buy back, and then they're cool with this. Although it looks like they are going to take it. Looks like Radiant doesn't want to buy back. They have a Tinker. I think they're comfortable holding high ground.
I think the problem they run into is if they buy back, they know that their opponents were just in this area, this high ground area, so they know it's completely dewarded, and that they've got their own wards up, and even if you smoke, something's going to be seen.
Dire are
True, yeah. And maybe you just think you can't take the fight anyway. You'd rather take the fight on your high ground where Tinker is just marching. I mean, I think they're going to lose, but I think that's what they're thinking.
Yeah, maybe if the Magnus had gold and wasn't the guy buying the salves and the wards, like he had a blink dagger, you can make a play. Because it just feels like Spirit having almost 10k net worth isn't really achieving anything.
I mean, Spirit Vessel's... I mean, I guess Vlad's is something that's hard to see the impact of. Spirit Vessel's pretty decent against the Necrophos. Doesn't have Greaves up.
Yeah,
Or
it just
or Aegis.
it's just the problem. Like if you're in a big team fight and they're stacking hard and they're trying to kill your Tinker, like a charge through's not bad, but would you not rather have a
It's
big
not
fat RP?
Yeah. I definitely think this is a game where you have like 2 4.5s instead of like a hard 5 Magnus or a hard 5 Breaker. Like I think you can go phase and Urn and Spear Vessel on Breaker, but
You don't even feel like
completely
you've
right.
got great value out of the troll. Like look at his net worth. He's fallen so far behind now.
does have
I mean, I
faster
guess-
though. Like they can get lucky in these fights. They can definitely get lucky. Like if the troll gets a good ult off and they get a decent RP somehow without the blink, and he just bashes people, they have a especially with the Tinker.
You just need your troll to somehow survive the initial like bout of damage because there's going to be 2 or 3 heroes on him that stage and then skewer and RP.
Here's the awkward thing about this Tinker BKB. He's not really going into fights at all.
tower is under
No, he's
Goes
kind of
into
prodding.
fights, I kind of can't help but feel he'll die even with the BKB.
Yeah, he gets scythed and the physical damage overwhelms. Uh-oh, Spirit, he's going to get scythed here. Bye. 105 seconds on the sideline now. He does have buyback because he was saving up for his BKB. Now they're grateful that they put this much money on the Mukau. Cross, stand up. Asking forward about it. He was winding up for the strike. Decides against it. He's still holding on to his BKB here. They'll just back away, heal up with the Guardian Greaves, and look to go again because they've still got an 8-second window. They're not certain whether there's a buyback on the Spirit Breaker yet because there hasn't been a hard initiation from 682.
Are fortified.
And they pressure 2 lanes now.
So many
Skelly Bros down here. BKB, jump in. Avalanche there. Toby trying to escape the toss back. He's stampeded, and now he didn't get pinned to the tree, but no, the stampede's ran out and he's gone. 55 seconds on the sideline.
Middle tower has fallen.
Does have a buyback. They're trying to force it. Reincarnate goes pop. Frost gives up a life.
That was nice reaction time from Hanskin. Lord, and then the toss out into Spear. That was pretty.
The 10-second BKB, but you got the tower, and that opens up the shrines. Gonna make sure there's never a
Tiny,
chance.
though. Like, who cares?
I mean, he cares, but he'll take it. It's a support tiny, by the way, with BKB Echo Saber. That's the important part to highlight here.
Yeah, yeah. He's going for what's it even called?
Moonshot.
Is under attack.
I mean, they need the extra little bit of extra siege, right? Let's not like your Necrophos late game was your sieger. So Wraith King, he doesn't want to be there alone. His Skelly Bros in him. He needs a protege, someone to teach the ways of ratting.
I like the Xibe TP top, and he cancels it because he realizes like giving up their position on the map right now would be super game losing. Why do it? Who cares about this top lane? There's nobody sieging it. It's just, the tower can defend.
Bottom shrine.
So he goes bot instead. I mean, they're not going to get anything from this smoke, but I like the discipline that he goes to TP, which is probably like a natural pub habit, just habit in general. But he's like, okay, we have this position on the map. If I TP top, enemy team can fight. Like, I'm not doing that. I'd rather the tower take a little bit of damage to give up our position. It's more important to keep our position. Yeah,
because the Tinker at this stage in the game is actually just trying to divert attention to him so the troll can be something.
It's a distraction. It's a distraction. Like, you don't want to take the distraction, which is... BSJ doesn't call it the dead lane for nothing.
Good old Brian.
That's what I call him.
Big B. I'm British, so I just go for Stewie from Family Guy.
Okay.
Go on Brian, yeah. Brian.
Do the voice. Do the voice.
Do the voices. Do the perform for me, you monkey. Hey, I'm a bird. All right, I'm not a monkey.
Oof. Holding the high ground, TFT. Nice play from them, just waiting. You just cut all the waves. You farm 3 lanes, enemy team farms 1 lane. You farm all the jungles, they farm 1 lane.
Eventually, you make a mistake, they farm your heroes.
Yeah,
but you keep farming lanes. I mean, this literally is just them waiting for Tinker to slip up, basically.
Yep, that's the unfortunate thing about playing against a Tinker, is that you basically have to just wait for him to mess up.
682. They're moving out. They see the Wraith King. Link forward. Hex is going to be there. Hanskin could look to turn this around. The arena's going to be there. Stampede, they're trapped inside. This is a big mistake. RP going to stack them together. The battle chart's trying to do enough damage that the Cypher's down. Dead for 100 seconds. Centaur Magnus will join for 50. The buyback comes out, but Zipzap, he needs to get out of this quick. Outmanned, outgunned, outmaneuvered. He will go down 85 seconds on the sideline. And, well, you said they could hold day and night, but the moment they come out to fight, they pay a hefty price because Troll does not have buyback. Stomp. Just to save them from Frost. Buyback comes out from Magnus. They will realize very quickly at this rate that Troll does not have a buyback though, because they're on the high ground. Why would a Tinker, why would the side of 682 let this happen if Troll could be back in the engagement? Frost jumps in, Inkswell's out onto Magnus. Backs away though. Be nice to get that die back, but not worth giving over your reincarnate for it. Just get the racks instead. Link forward. Stomp, coming out. Seabed just forces spells onto him right now. Has the cheese, the BKB, has the arena in 10 seconds. Chessie, and this is going to be proc. Frost still hasn't gone down once yet. Line looking for more. They might be able to find it. Spirit hiding. He's cowering. He's screaming for help. The help's going to come, but it's too late. He's already going to go down. Now, Reincarnate gets forced out. Spirit Break's still alive for the time being. They need to blink away. They'll be able to get Tinker back to the base, but the buyback, no. They're going to be leashed together with the Soulbind. The arena goes down as well to zone them away. They'll get the media racks, and because of that slight slip-off, they can't actually look to re-engage. Charge across now, looking onto Frost.
Oh, they got Tinker.
Oh, jumping. Tinker in trouble. BKB moving forward from Hanskin. Wish he's going to go down. He's going to have to come back with a buyback, but can he do enough? They spear him into the base to make sure that nothing can be done here by the Magnus. Now, never strike. Zebek getting low. Still has the BKB and the cheese to work with. Charge across onto Frost, but he's going to have the reincarnate in 10 seconds. Avalanche jumping. Hanskin. If they get the toss back here, no! They get the wrong target. They'll be able to find Magnus, but they still can't get their Tinker. He stands his high ground, and he holds to the moment. The Hex is coming out on the Chessie. Necrophos. Inkswell to get him away. Spear to just zone out. Pins Troll up against his own lane. He's meant to defend it. Much easier to defend if you're stuck right next to it. Frost looking to escape. Does have the reincarnate to work with. Stun comes out. Turns around a spear in the meantime. Cleaving him. Seabear. Arena in 10 seconds. These fights have been going on so long. He's going to have his ultimate again soon. They need to get him out. Wish is just being ignored right now. He needs to go back to regen very soon. And Frost still refuses to go down. Has to reincarnate. The Death Pulse is hearing him up from Chessie the whole time through. They'll get the ranged racks and they'll back away. They give nothing for it. The charge out. Oh, this is do or die. The charge in hard from Spirit. He cancels it before he completes it. Frost is still alive. The Guardian Crews keep him up. They bait them out. No, he's going to go down. They need to get back in. The Laces just hitting onto all of them. Sips having trouble though. The Arena's going to trap him in. There's the Scythe to work with. The Soulbind is on him. They don't do summon do enough. The BKB is going to run out. Chasing forward on the Chessie, but needs to TP away. He realizes with the Scythe there, they're going to throw it out. They're going to force out the battle trance and make him fight against 5. And no one is here to help because Tinker, he was still regenerating up. The GG comes out. They know it's over. You might have a Tinker, but you have no high ground left to defend.
Once again, the last sort of engagement was definitely interesting, but I don't see that as like where the game was decided. I really think that we should commend like TFT for their discipline in not just trying to siege high ground against a Tinker. Like, I think you said it at a point. They need to just wait for, like, just